Hi, how you doing? It's Jeff Sinker from SkypeGuitarLessonsOnline.com, bringing you part 3 of our series on learning and mastering the CAGED system. Previous lessons we looked at the major chords, then part 2 we looked at the minors. In this part we are going to be looking at the dominant chord shapes, the 7th chord shapes. So we still apply this whole concept of CAGED, but we now bring in a third element in, which we think about most forms of music. We're either playing a major chord, a minor chord, or we're playing a dominant chord. So if we can understand what all these different shapes can be played on the guitar, we're in a really good position. We'll break each one of the dominant chords, we'll go through them, and then we'll move them around the fretboard, as in the previous lessons. So we're going to start off with the C. So we've got a C chord. What is a dominant chord in the sense of how do we play that? Well, a dominant chord is a major chord with the addition of a flat 7th note. So when we play these chords, and we're going to kind of revert them back to a lot of the open chord sequences we do, but if you always understand that it's a major chord with an additional flat 7th note, so you'll be able to figure it out for yourself. Where should you put your fingers? But for the C chord, we have to add a flat 7 note, which in this case is the B flat. If you're unsure how to work that out, just a quick one. If that's your root note, you've got to add a flat 7. A flat 7 is 2 frets back from the root note, because the root note is also the octave. So a quick way though is to, if I'm on a C, a flat 7 beneath that, 2 frets down, got a B flat. So we know we've got to add a B flat to this chord. So a simple way for doing it on this shape, we add the B flat, which is on the G string. Gives us a C7 chord. Simple way of doing it. So it is. Okay. There are other variations of doing this, but that is a pretty much standard way of playing C7. And of course, the root note is using your third finger. So if I want to play a D7, just move it up 2. We don't play the low E, we don't play the high E. Very bluesy way of playing that. The A is our A. We have to add a minor third, so if we got an A, the note we're going to be playing as an A is going to be G. So what we can do, we've got 2 A's in here. I've got an A on the open string, and I'm fretting down an A, 2nd fret on the G. So if I lift that finger, that will give me an A7. Now if I want to move that, all I've got to do is put the 2 fingers across, and I use my little finger, this will be on B2, and I put my 3rd finger on D2. So I can move them forward and put the bar in. Gives me a B flat 7, B7, and a C7. So I can play a C7 here, and I can play a C7 there. So 2 easy methods of playing that. G7. What has happened here? Well, that's our standard G. So again, we've added this flat 7. So what's gone is gone from the G, we put the F in. So we've got this shape here. Of course, we've got the strings that are played by the open. But if we want to play that, we can adjust our fingers, move them up, and put the bar. So I've got a G7, like that. One way of doing it. Now, some guitarists, what they will do, they will just play it as a straight line down. So that's another way of doing it, but the bigger story of that chord, that would be an A7, move it all the way up to the C, C7. Because I'm playing this G shape, and I'm dropping this finger in here to give me that flat 7 additional note. So that's how we can play with the G shape, because our G7. The E, now you probably have used this before. To play an E7, well, there's your standard E chord. We've got two E's, we've got the open string E and we've got the octave E. So again, to play a flat 7, we've got to lower it down by a whole tone. So it's an open D. So all we've got to do is just lift our third finger. This is our G7 chord. And again, if we think about how we played these major chords, all we got to do in this case is lift our little finger. F7, G7, A7, C7. Final one, the D7. Standard beginner chord that we used. There's our D7. Root back on the open string. Now this one's quite easy to play because when we move the fingers forward, that shape comes quite easy. So then we've got our 7 chord, root here, so there's an F7, G7, A7, B7. Remember, the root note is on that D string, so if we want to play a C7, oh, C7. It's probably the easiest one of the D shapes to play. So now we've got our 5 dominant chord shapes, which in a sense takes us round now. We've got all of the types of chords available to us. We've got the major chords, we've got the minor chords, and we've got the dominant chords. So now we can really start to use these chord shapes, using the CAGED sequence to play songs. So what we're going to do now, we're going to start looking at different arrangements. And I've got a number of different songs that we can start to use to get us practiced in using these different chord sequences. Really starting to get the CAGED system to be efficient for us. Right, we've got the sheet in front of us, as you can see, and we start off with an F minor, going to an A flat, going to a B flat, A flat, B flat, back to an F minor, A flat. So we have the sequence of chords in front of us, and first out of the box is an F minor. Now I have to say that I would guess that 99% of anybody who's now sitting watching this video, when I say right, play an F minor, they will go for this E minor type shape. That's the one they'll go for. And I'm not saying you're wrong. There are 5 other F minors on this fretboard, but our comfort zone at the moment is going here. That's the one we're with at the moment. So the next one we've got to go to is the A flat. Now we can't play an A, we can't flatten that because, well, we could if we just played the middle 3 strings, but we can't really go for an A flat chord using our standard A shape. But if we think we've got an A flat note here on the low E and our bars across this first fret, we can actually use the G shape. And all we're moving is our finger across from that 3rd fret on the D, moving it up here to 4th fret. The bar stays in place and we get our A flat. So that wasn't a bad choice. To go from your F minor here to A flat, it's pretty cool. Hardly any movement whatsoever on that. Now our next one is a B flat. Now again, some people are like, oh yeah, I'm comfortable, I can move that up to play my B flat, which is correct, but we're not thinking. We have got a B flat directly underneath this F note. So we've gone from the F minor to the A flat. We could take the A shape this time and play the B flat shape there. There's our B flat now. Then we got to go back to the A flat. So we just move the fingers back. There's our A flat, and then we move to B flat. So that wasn't a bad choice. From that point there, we go back to an F minor, and we got another bar of A flat. Let's now look at other potential and see if there was another way that we could work this. As I said, we have got 5 different ways of playing an F minor. So let's not just say, okay, that was it, I'm done. Let's just see if there are other ones, because I'd like to get you to a stage where you don't always think that one straight out of the barre. Now, let's have a look at F minor played as the A minor, which is our second most common shape. So we're up here on 8th fret, we're playing our F minor chord. Now we've got to find an A flat. So how can we do that with the minimum amount of movement? Well, the answer again is a good one here for us, because we can play our C shape just by moving this little finger again to 11th fret on the A string. These two fingers stay dent in the exact place, but that gives us a C chord shape with our root on the A flat. Now, how cool is that? That's pretty good. We've not had to move the barre. Now we've got a B flat to put in. So we've got our position here, we're quite comfortable, we're on the run here, we've got an F minor here, and then we think, yeah, cool, I've got our A flat. Then where are we going to get our B flat from? Have we made a mistake? Have we gone into the wrong position? Are we going to make a move? Well, yes, we could move down here, but we do have a B flat on 8th fret, where our barre was, on the D string. So we can actually play the D shape to play our B flat. So we can go from that to that, switch out to the B flat, and then back to the A, and then we've got our B flat, and back to the F minor. So that wasn't too bad. That is another potential option for us, because again we didn't move the barre. So don't write certain things straight off. Now you've got the progression there in front of you. I'd like you to work it using the D minor shape, playing an F. So you're going to be starting off on this position here. There's F minor using the D minor shape. And I want you to go through the sequence and see if you can maneuver through them chords without really having to move that first finger. So a little exercise for you to accomplish on that. So do experiment with them. Look at old songs that you might have learned before. Try them in different positions. Try them in one of the 5 positions and see if there's a better way of being able to play this chord sequence. You will be surprised. Well, this is Jeff Sinker from SkypeGuitarLessonsOnline.com. I appreciate your company. Hope you've enjoyed the lesson, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Until then, goodbye.